What's up, everybody? We are back in the building. It is me, your boy, Brandon Tucker. Uh, this is Define Brandon. Welcome back to the show. Welcome back to accountability. Accountability. Um, we sorry I'm late. I had to actually remember something. We're covering Ryan Clark, the race hustler. He has been unceremoniously canned by ESPN. And what has the world abuzz is the fact that he was fired in the middle of a show. Literally, bro was talking trash. They went to commercial, told bro he fired, came back, bro wasn't there no more, right? I wouldn't say it's just a firing. I believe it was a humbling. I believe it was a humiliation ritual. I believe it was a way of these people letting Ryan Clark know, look, man, you talk all that trash. You talk about race this, race that. You're a race hustler, right? You've been collecting our money all these years and you just never got the memo. Hey, talent is going to go further than being a gimmick. Is going to go further than a grift. And it's damn sure going to go further than race hustling. Now, we can't really show any of the footage of that because ESPN is not playing. That's one of the reasons why I was late, because I had to go look at the way other live streamers were covering this story so I wouldn't accidentally get flagged and get myself terminated, you know what I'm saying, from YouTube by, playing ESPN stuff online. So what we're going to do, we're going to kick it old school. We're actually going to go to the article. I actually went and got in that time you were waiting, I went and got a subscription to the New York Times. See the sacrifices I make because I love you. I literally went and got a subscription to The Athletic on the New York Times just so I could break this down from what everyone is saying is the most comprehensive analysis of the situation on paper. So ESPN cuts ties with NFL analyst Ryan Clark. Wider layoffs are expected Tuesday, according to their sources. Let me make sure my sound is good. Okay, yeah, so we're good. We're grateful. We're amazing. Okay, so I don't really like Ryan Clark. Like him as a player, one of the hardest hitters in the history of the NFL. I mean, he lay your ass out. But for someone to come from a sport that is, especially during the time when he was playing, it was rooted in meritocracy. It was rooted in hard work. Whatever you put in is what you get out. I didn't like the pivot to racial grifting and race baiting that Ryan Clark took as a commentator. He didn't look at people like ESPN. I mean, like Stephen A. Smith, who is a legend and a giant on ESPN, who, though he can be very annoying, why do I keep I'm literally saying ESPN when I want to say Stephen A. Smith because he is so synonymous with ESPN. It's like there is no separation between the two. But Ryan Clark didn't take a lesson from somebody who is incredibly successful like Stephen A. Smith, who never, ever, 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 ever falls back on the sorry excuse of race when it comes to how he analyzes what's going on in the sports world. There are a million ways to break something down. There are a million ways to slice a pie. But the worst way you can do that in the world of sports is through the lens of race. Because sports is one of the few areas in this society where Black people dominate. So to fall back on race being the motivation for anything in sports is really it's goofy, it's ignorant, and it's lazy. And that's exactly how I was described Ryan Clark as a commentator. He says goofy stuff, he says ignorant stuff. He literally stands on ignorant positions. And really, though he thought he was better than he really was, he came across as lazy when it came to doing his job at ESPN. So I understand why they got rid of him. It was a lazy grift that, what's her name? There were a couple of women who worked for ESPN, and they tried to do the same crap, and they were fired. What's the one's name? Jamel Hill. She tried to do the same garbage ass grift that Ryan Clark tried years before he did, and she ended up terminated with a podcast that no one even cares about, no one even cares to watch. She literally destroyed her career trying to double down on this race hustle narrative, this race hustle strategy on one of the biggest sports platforms in the world. Time and time again, it happens. Time and time again, these people get fired. And yes, someone always comes along. They don't look at Kendrick Perkins. They don't look at Stephen A. Smith. They don't look at Pat McAfee. They don't look at the guys doing it the best and say, let me, do it like them, but with my own little spin to it. They fall back on the laziest approach possible. And then when there's layoffs, they're gone. You're not an asset. You're not an asset. He didn't get fired. He didn't get fired for telling a man he had more experience than him. He got fired for everything else he was doing. And then he did the stuff with the more experience, which there was nothing wrong with that. That's not why he got fired. He got fired because he's a lazy ass analyst. I love the comments though. Keep them coming. If you don't agree with me, drop it, preferably in a super chat so we hit our goal, and I'll see it and I'll talk about it. Let me tell you something. Ryan Clark got fired because Ryan Clark has been doing something that is incendiary and does not help ESPN, who is struggling right now because their views are low, right? Disney has destroyed ESPN. But what's not going to help them get back on their feet is having a bunch of race hustlers with a microphone trying to find a way to reduce everything that happens in the sports world down to race. Point blank. The fact that, and if I take what you say, Bathwater Clips, that's my boy. If I take what you say at face value, what you say only makes it more sensible that they get rid of his ass. Because if he has so much experience, why does he have to make everything about race? If I'm a ex-NFL player, if I have all this experience and I know the ins and outs of the game and all that stuff, why is Stephen A. Smith outperforming me? Someone who never played any sport. Why is Pat McAfee, a person who was a kicker in the NFL, why is bro outperforming me? If you have so much experience, and experience was the thing that dictated who's best at being an analyst, why aren't you the golden boy of ESPN carrying the whole company on your back like Stephen A. Smith? I'll wait for you. What he chose to do, how he chose to direct the trajectory of his career is even more of a condemnation of the way he chose to do his job, which was through the lens of race, not through the lens of experience, ability, and resume. So you could take that and whatever, right? Let me go to the article so we can get the details on this. And this was like a humiliation ritual, if you really want to be honest. So ESPN cuts ties with NFL analyst Ryan Clark. Wider layoffs expected Tuesday. So there he goes. ESPN has cut ties with NFL analyst Ryan Clark. Sources briefed on the move told The Athletic. Clark was on ESPN's NFL Live on Monday. He was informed of the decision during the show, said the sources speaking on the condition of anonymity to discuss a sensitive matter. Clark did not finish the program. Literally, he was talking. They went to commercial break and bro was gone. And I'm waiting for him to make go on a tirade saying, yo, they're racist. They fired me because I'm black. He's not going to do that, though. I'm telling you, it's not going to happen because he still wants to work in the world of, sports commentating for one of these major companies. He likes the money. And it's always been crazy to me how you could be taking a check from a white man while simultaneously going after white people, calling them racist. These people are paying you millions of dollars to do something that people on YouTube can do better than you. And all you can do to thank them or just to show gratitude, which that's always the most important thing, gratitude. All you can do to show them gratitude is basically paint, white people as this racist monolith who hates black folks. It's so dirty. It's so downright diabolical when it comes from somebody like an NFL player. Because the same white people that they're going after literally made them rich, literally changed the trajectory of their lives and the lives of their family. And the first thing your mind goes to is, oh man, these dudes are racist. If they were as racist as you say they are, you would be out here like, what's buddy name who bought all the television networks? What's that black dude's name? I forgot his name. I always forget these dudes' name. The guy who owns the Weather Channel. Byron, is his name Byron Allen? Let me see. Yeah, Byron Allen. If they were as racist as you say they are, you would be saving your coins. Thank you, KP. You would be saving your coins, and you would literally be stacking your chips, getting ready to start your own network. But white folks is so racist. Nobody went to Byron Allen and said, hey, bro, we should do a sports show. Because these white folks is so racist, they're not looking out for us. It's like saying, yo, it's raining outside, but I'm not going to go inside to get out the rain. It's raining outside, but I'm going to go stand outside in the rain and complain about how wet I'm getting. Or it's going to rain, but you don't bring no umbrella. You let it rain on you, and then you stand in the rain and complain about how wet you're getting. That is why this is a grift. And it happens all over the internet, especially with black folks when it comes to white folks. White folks is so racist. Bro, you're only on here able to get the YouTube ad revenue because white folks. You're only able to be on Kick getting paid off of that because white folks. Y'all only got a platform to watch these videos because of white folks. Because no black person, I think there was one called Colossus, something to that effect. That's gone. That's defunct. That's defunct. You got the other one with the son of Isaac Hayes. Nobody's on that. So these people are so racist. They hate black people so much that you're going to continue to build them up with your views, build them up with your money, your purchases, your in-app purchases, all that. They are so racist that you can't do nothing but help make them multi-billionaires. The reality is, these people aren't racist like how you say they are. You're just jealous of what they got and you don't. You're jealous that you depend on them for entertainment. And you could play a game of tiddlywinks and be entertained, but you won't do that. You want to be here. So me, I'm tired of it. I don't want to hear it. And that's why I was like, ESPN getting rid of Ryan Clark was good. They don't need you. They don't need you. You're the smallest population in America. They don't need you. Stop with that garbage. Black people, they need us. What do they need you for? They could bring in, listen, last year, 2025, under Biden, 2024, they brought in Latinos into this country that is half the amount of your total population. In 1 year, they brought in a number of Latinos that is equivalent to half of your entire population in America. It's 44 million blacks. They brought in 20 million Latinos in a year. And y'all will still walk around. They need us. They don't need you. They don't need you. That's why they don't want to hire you most places. When you get rejected, when you go to apply from that job, you know what that say? They don't need you. They will hire a Mexican and not even think about you. They'll hire another white person and not even think about you. And you know what that means? That means you have to have gratitude. See, when someone says something like, they need us, that means this is my excuse to not have gratitude or be appreciative of nothing. But the reality is no one needs you. So you have to have gratitude and be appreciative of everything. Let me get back into this article. I'm getting a little sidetracked. My bad, guys. Okay. So sources at ESPN say the reason they told Clark during the show was due to media inquiries into his departure and a fear that the news would leak out before they could inform him. Since after the Super Bowl party in February, sources had told The Athletic that Clark's job could be in jeopardy. Last week, The Athletic learned that Clark was likely to be let go. So you guys are saying it was because of the exchange with the white dude. But following the Super Bowl, they had already said bro was out of here. Nobody watches ESPN to watch Ryan Clark. I'm sorry. Nobody watches ESPN to watch Ryan Clark. And here we go. Here we go. The Coon comments. Massive. Guys, it doesn't matter. You could not watch me all you want to. The world is moving in a direction that will no longer placate, pander to, or bend the knee to white people feeling like everyone's race. I mean, to black people feeling like everyone's racist. Whether you like me, like it or not, the world is moving on. Y'all abandon this channel. We ain't watching you no more. I'm still here. Now, I'm not going to say I don't need you. I would love to have you. But nobody is going bankrupt because black people don't like them. My audience was all black. My audience was all black. The biggest numbers I've ever done were when I stopped trying to pander, not even pander, when I stopped trying to angle things towards race. And I always kind of didn't want to do that. But, we were in the Pan-African space, and Pan-African is a black movement. But the minute I tried to explain to black people, hey, you could be Pan-African, but you still need to exist in the world. And if you want to get to a point where you're acquiring wealth, you're going to have to open your mind up to doing business with other people. Because just doing business primarily with blacks is not going to work. It's not. Especially when they're only doing business with you because of race. Because the minute you guys disagree on something, they're not going to deal with you no more. It's like being a liberal. Soon as you don't agree, like your family, right? You might disagree, but y'all still family. They're not your son ain't gonna move out because he disagrees with you on the color of the drapes. But in the black community, if you don't agree on everything 100% down the line, no matter how ignorant what they believe may be, black people are gonna walk off with it. You're done. You're done. So the whole thing is, if you want to have some type of stability, if you actually ever want to build something, you're going to have to be open-minded when it comes to who you're building with, right? It's like being in a relationship. Hell, you might prefer to be like, yo, I want to be in a relationship with a black woman, right? But if you can't find no good black woman, all of them want to be hood rats, and you get a white woman, I'm not going to knock you for that, bro. That's who's going to sit up and take care of your kids and let your ugly ass lay on top of her and flop around like a fish, like Hustle Smart say. But what I'm not going to do is watch a person try to criticize and talk shit on somebody for doing something like, oh, marrying a white woman. But then that person turn around and be up in white folks' face getting the benefits of that. But you got a problem with this person, right? A black prostitute criticize a black man for marrying a white woman, but she lay on her back for white men all day as long as they got the right amount of money. That's not going to work. So when you see situations like this with Ryan Clark, bro just wasn't being smart. It got nothing to do with race. It got nothing to do with what was even said between him and old buddy. It has everything to do with this guy chose a path that other people had taken before him and ended up in the same situation, right? So he knew where this was going. He followed the path of Jamel Hill. He didn't follow the path of Stephen A. Smith. He didn't follow the path of Pat McAfee. He didn't follow the path of someone like a Shannon Sharp. You never really hear Shannon Sharp bring up race. Even on Nightcap, even on Club Shay Shay, these guys never bring up race because it's irrelevant to what they're talking about. Now, if a white person does something to a black person and is race racially, charged, then you got to address it. It has to be addressed as a black man, woman, and even as a white person. Call it out. If a black person does something to a white person and is based on race, call it out. But people have this innate desire to be treated fairly, right? And the one place where people could demand fair treatment and a fair shake is the internet. You might not get fair treatment in a society like, okay, I live in LA. If you Mexican in LA, you got a leg up on everybody because it's all Mexicans out here, right? If you get treated fairly, you like, cool, I bless you. You know what I'm saying? You treated me fairly. If you get treated unfairly, and that's motivated by racial bias, you kind of understand that because it's like, yo, it's all Mexicans. They gonna ride for La Raza and La Familia, right? That's the way it is. But on this internet, people can literally choose where they want to be. And if I choose to go watch ESPN as a white person, what I don't expect to happen is for me to be basically disparaged, or my group, my ethnic group to be disparaged and unfairly targeted by someone who's an analyst on that platform. Understand that. No one wants to watch a sports show that's supposed to be about sports and hear somebody go into a monologue about race because they're here. Like, imagine you being white, you living in Podunk, you're cheering for LeBron James, you cheering for all these black athletes, you love them. You love some of these athletes more than you love your damn kids, right? You got every jersey, every novelty cup. You go to the game every time you get some extra money. And then have somebody on ESPN tell you how you're a racist and a redneck for whatever reason, right? It's like that kills your passion for the game. And if it kills your passion for the game, you're going to find somewhere else to go consume commentary and analysis because you don't want to have to feel bad just to hear people talk about something that you love. That's just the way it is. So if Ryan Clark wasn't creating an environment that was conducive to that, I mean, he needed to go. I'm waiting for him to put Shannon back on there, which may never happen. But, Ryan Clark, to me, he needs to just do his own thing. Take the racial animus, take that passive aggressive race baiting to your own podcast. And go see how many people watch you while you do that. While you try to present everything from the angle of racism. No one's going to watch you, bro. No one's going to watch you. And it was cute when you did it on ESPN a couple of times, but when it basically became your whole angle, you were cooked. This guy is making millions of dollars, and all he does is present himself as a damn victim. Sports is like, it's supposed to bring out the best in us. It's supposed to highlight the best of us, right? People overcoming all odds. You're supposed to be inspired. I went to watch my daughter play volleyball last night. They played 3 games. They won 2. The last game they played against a very good school with a girl who's going D1. Big, tall girl. The way my daughter's team stepped up, the way they were cooking and going hard, man, I was inspired. It was all races of people. My daughter, little Mexican girls, little white girls, they went hard. And the girls on the other side was all Mexican and one black girl. But it was, this one girl, she's Russian or whatever she is. Race didn't have nothing to do with it. They had a team with a D1 player on it. Really good team, strong, tall, and all that. My daughter's team is a little shorter. But the way they stepped up and went hard and lost by 2 points, right? It really, really, really inspired everyone there. And at the end of the day, when it was all over, nobody was like, oh, man, these white girls and these Mexicans went in on those Mexicans. No, they were like, man, the girls really stepped up. I'm so excited. Your daughter plays so well. That's what sports is. To do this, what you're about to watch Ryan Clark do, is disgusting. And it's wrong. It's wrong to do. Stop killing people's ability to be inspired by constantly presenting yourself as the victim. This boy is sitting in front of NFL helmets. This boy that made millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars in his lifetime. More money than most people could ever dream of touching. And all he could do is get in front of you and use his platform as a place to play the victim. I don't feel sorry for this dude at all. Listen to this.
I'm tired of being musically profiled in Ubers. It's a Sunday. Go to walk my son's dog.
I'm tired of being musically profiled in Uber. You can literally on the app select no music. This is what's disgusting. A multi-millionaire talking about the music choice of an Uber driver. How do you know he's playing it because you're playing? I was riding in my car the other day, and this is one of the things about living in California that is funny. I'm literally riding in my car. Now, I don't listen to Eazy-E. I don't like Eazy-E as a rapper. I don't. I like the Woke Up Quick at about noon. Yes, that's dope. The rest of it, I don't listen to. We're in the car. We're rolling up. Literally, this white lady pulls up next to us. She's in her own world. She's rapping. She's going crazy, right? I'm listening to what she's listening to is beating through her damn windows. It's Eazy-E, right? She's going crazy. I look at my daughter. She looks at me. I said, well, at least we know now who's listening to that shit. My daughter's like, facts. You can't judge a person by their skin and think you know what kind of music they listen to. My daughter, she never even heard of the Spend It song. On my scamming, my daughter never even heard of Young Miami. And she's a 17-year-old black girl. She didn't even know what that was. Me and her mom we were talking about the song. We were arguing about the India Ari, and they had a little beef going on. I told my daughter, yeah, what you think about the Spin That song in India Ari? My daughter's like, Spin That? What the hell is that? I'm like, the song about scamming? She's like, I've never heard it. We literally had to play the song for her. And she's like, yeah, it's stupid. It's about scamming. Like, why you want to make a song about people stealing, like glorifying it? But Ryan Clark would say that because my daughter is black, she has to be intimately familiar with Sexy Red, Young Miami, and all these people. And it's like, no, Ryan, just because someone's a certain color doesn't mean that they fit into the box that you've assigned to them. He's very ignorant, collected millions of dollars from white folks, yet wants to constantly beat up on white people and make everything about race. Got 2 damn NFL helmets sitting behind him. Well, a college helmet and an NFL helmet sitting behind him and sitting up talking about, I'm tired of being musically profiled in an Uber.
I'm tired of being musically profiled in Ubers. It's a Sunday. Go to walk my son's dog. Get in the Uber. Just some regular, I think it was like pop or something was on. Man, says hello. Doesn't even ask me. He just changes the radio. First song, All Eyes on Me by Tupac. That's not even one of the songs I listen to from that album. Then.
Yeah, but you do listen to Tupac, right? That means he profiled you correctly. That's not even a song I listened to on that album. He couldn't say, oh, I don't even listen to Tupac. Listen, it's so funny how the service industry is based on profiling. I was a customer service trainer. Customer service is based on profiling, bro. Listen, let me tell you, I worked at a grocery store for many years, right? Many years. I was a manager. I was a floor manager. I was management. If I see an old lady, right, and she's walking to the water aisle, right, and I know in the water aisle it ain't nothing over there but a bunch of heavy ass cases of water. It ain't nothing over there but a bunch of gallon jugs of water. And I go over there and say, ma'am, would you like some help? What water would you like? I'll get it off the shelf for you, put it in a basket, and I'll take you to ring it up. Or I could push you to the front. And when you're done, let me know. They'll let me know, and I'll come help you to your car, or I'll send someone to help you. I just profiled that lady. I just said she's old. She probably can lift the water up, but she's probably likely to break her damn back, bending over to pick up that water, and my store is going to get a lawsuit. I profiled this lady, and based on my profiling her, I was able to give her a high standard of customer service, right? Now imagine if that lady was like, how you gonna profile me? How you gonna assume that I can't lift the water? Because I don't know. Da-da-da. No, thank you. You're a nice young gentleman. Thank you for profiling me and using your ability to profile me to help me to see that I need help with this water and getting it to my car. Okay? That's profiling. This guy said, look, I'm with a black dude. Maybe he likes hip hop. Maybe he likes Tupac. Shit, I like Tupac, right? And I know if I play Tupac with a black person in the car, ain't nobody going to be on me. Versus if I got the white executive looking dude and I put the Tupac on and he like, hey, can you like change that or that's loud or whatever. Now, maybe the guy could have said, hey, what kind of music do you like? But they do ask you that in the app. So if you cared about hearing what music you like in the Uber, you can put that into the app before you get picked up. Me, I don't give a damn what they listen to. Uber, in my opinion, I'm in your car. Thank you for giving me a ride. Thank you for working for fucking pennies so I could get somewhere for the low. This guy is an asshole. This guy's what I call a member of what I call the degenerate elite. People who have money, people who have wealth, but instead of allowing that to bring their minds and their level of thinking to a higher plane, they continue to operate in a degenerate way. Bro sounded like a bitter baby mama who ain't gonna be happy no matter what you do. Yeah, he put on Tupac, and that's not even a song I like off of that album. Bro, you sounded like a bitch, bro. As hard as this dude may hit somebody on the football field, he is a mental midget.
He plays many men, right? 50 Cent. Right now, I'm starting to realize there's a theme. Then he hit me with the Stay Scheming. Bro, you got to go pull Stay Scheming way off the pack for Ross and Drake. And I had enough when it got to Not Like Us. Like, you totally profiled me and said, this is the music this guy's like. And now I'm watching his lips as he lip sync because it's not even the edited version. And listen, bro.
He's lip singing it. That means he knows the music. So how do you know that he was playing it for you? If a white person get in my car and I start putting on country music and I start listening to Darius Rucker, if I'm singing the damn song, there's a good chance that I'm not putting it on just because you're in the car. I might have put it on because I know you're comfortable with this type of music based on looking at you. I know that it's a low likelihood that you're going to say, oh, this music is making me uncomfortable. But if bro is lip singing to the music, clearly that's music he's into. Ryan Clark is just he's a professional complainer.
Continuum, all-time album. Why can't I listen to John Mayer? Songs About Jane, classic. Maroon 5. Hell, Between the Pines, Sam Hunt. I know a little, now there ain't enough smoke in my eyes to hide the kind of games you trying to play. Like, what about that? Chris Young, that's like one of my favorite songs. The bluest skies don't seem so blue. Like, that is a classic. Beautiful Crazy. I mean, a day starts with a coffee and ends with...
Now, what this guy is showing is the truth about most people who are race baiters and race hustlers. He's showing that he is the actual racist. Because just like he's saying that, hey, just because I'm black, I can't listen to John Mayer, Songs About Jane. Just because I'm black, I can't listen to whatever other white music he was talking about. The same way he's making that accent, like he's choosing to believe that this guy is profiling him, he's profiling that guy. Because just because he's white means he can't listen to Tupac? Just because he's white doesn't mean he can't listen to many men. Bro, you up in Uber, bro. You're white driving Uber for crumbs. You might need a little bit of Tupac. Hit him up. You might need a little all eyes on me. You might need a little motivation. But the black multimillionaire is in the back seat racially profiling the white Uber driver, but then gets on the internet and tries to flip it like the white Uber driver was racially profiling him. And this is why he's gone from ESPN. Because believe me, if this dude was acting like a pissy little hood rat on camera, you could just imagine how he was acting off camera. You could just imagine how he was acting behind the scenes. They literally fired Whoopi Goldberg, didn't fire. They suspended Whoopi Goldberg for doing some similar stuff with the racial profiling stuff from The View. And Whoopi Goldberg is way more important to The View than Ryan Clark is to ESPN. He just has no talent. Let me get this super chat from my brother, Attorney Type. Bro pulling the non-pro card showed ESPN he has nothing else to offer. 100%. And then when he says, I know we shouldn't do this on camera, I'm sure the pros, the retired professionals, going after the analyst, the like non-player analyst, I'm sure that has come up in the past at ESPN, and I'm sure they have rules about that. Because when it comes to sports, your credibility is all you got. If you lose your credibility, your job, you're done. You're 100% cooked. This is why there was such a big thing about there being female analysts, right? And what happens is when you start going after people on their credibility based on whether or not they've ever played, now you're discriminating, because now you're making it a hostile work environment and putting the jobs of also female analysts in jeopardy. Because if you can just dismiss somebody by saying, hey, you never played, then it's a wrap. I believe that's one of the reasons Jalen Rose got fired from working with Skip Bayless. Remember, he basically went after Skip Bayless and was like, bro, you never played. He was like, yeah, you making an excuse. The coach didn't play you. You was water pistol Pete. I believe Jalen Rose got reprimanded over that, going after Skip Bayless, because he never played on no serious basketball after high school, right? Understand something. That is a no-no. That is a red line that you don't cross in the world of sports analysis. And he crossed it. Ryan Clark, like many race-baiting black buffoons, he thought he was bigger than the program. He thought he was bigger than the program. And they showed him, you're not bigger than the program. Boy, as a matter of fact, you off the program. They didn't fire him in the middle of the show just because, and it was because it was getting out. They fired him because they was showing his ass something. You think you the shit? You think you know more than we do? Bro, what's that boy named Bill Parcells? He ain't never played a down of football in college or the NFL. One of the best coaches in the history of the league. One of the best coaches in the history of the league, Bill Parcells, never played football. Never played a snap. Maybe in high school or something. There are people who never played football or basketball or any. They know way more about basketball than a person who's playing basketball. When you're getting coached in high school and college, some of your coaches never played. But they know the position because you can learn. You can watch, see what works, and then learn. And then say, hey, you need to be doing this. You need to be doing that. I've never played a set of volleyball in my whole life. Well, now that my daughter plays volleyball, I have played with her, right? But before she started playing, I never played a set of volleyball in my life, and I don't play it now, especially. Does that mean that when my daughter goes on her approach, I can't tell her, hey, you need to turn your body when you swing? You need to turn your body when you swing. Well, Dad, you never played. So why? How you gonna tell me I need to turn my body? I never played volleyball, but I know that if you don't turn your body And if you swing as hard as you do, you're most likely going to hit the net. So you turn your body when you swing. So when you come down with your follow through, you don't hit the net. Also, because if you hit the ball straight down the line, it makes it easier for the person to block you. Did I have to have a illustrious 30-year volleyball career to know that? No, I just had to watch some games and watch my daughter's volleyball coach teach it to her. Now, if I got on ESPN and I'm doing an analysis of volleyball, right? And we watching USC play or the women's Olympic team, and the girl goes for the last swing and it gets blocked stuff, and I see, she didn't even turn her body. She didn't rotate her body so she can hit to the sides or at an angle. She's trying to hit down line, and there's a double block there. Does that mean I don't know what the hell I'm talking about? Does that mean Misty May Trainier could say, hey, Brandon, as a player, I just want to say you don't know shit. No, that's not what it doesn't work like that. This is sports, not rocket science, right? Shout out to my brother, Mr. Ed What. He said facts with the $5. I appreciate it. I appreciate that. Plenty of former pros as ESPN can choose to take bro spot 100%. 100%. There's plenty of people who are better than you, Ryan. Where's Harrison? Where's Rodney Harrison? He's 10 times the safety you will ever be. 100 times the safety you'll ever be. Way better IQ. Way better. And guess what? It shows. Pat McAfee cooked this fool up when he was talking about, Ryan Clark tried to come at him with that, oh, you were just a kicker shit. Pat McAfee says, I have done everything you could do in football. Thrown touchdowns, caught touchdowns, ran for touchdowns, tackled people, all that. Punted the ball, which Ryan Clark has never done. So Pat McAfee was like, who is more of the football player? See, Pat McAfee had a comeback for his ass. But this guy's just a whiny little victim who then tried to boss up on somebody, and then in a relatively short amount of time following that, got shit canned live on air.
I know country. So you mean to tell me you couldn't
100% a race hustler.
Nora Jones, come away with me. Hell, the Hamilton soundtrack, wicked. Listen to all that. You go straight there, and it was a Sunday, bro. Couldn't put no Kurt Franklin on. Like that. I don't like a Kurt Franklin guy. Yolanda Adams, John Peakey. Like none of those people ring a bell to you, and maybe I want to listen to them. So yeah,
a multi-millionaire.
Uber drivers, just turn around. Hey man, do you like this music? What music would you want to listen to? But please, or if you go Tupac, like give me Against the World for something subtle and insane and chill. Don't go All Eyes on Me. Or if you're gonna do that, give me Ambitious as a Rider. Like let me.
So really give me Tupac, but give me the Tupac I prefer.
That was ridiculous, Mr. Uber.
So because he didn't play the exact song you liked from Tupac, he was racially profiling you. This is so dumb, bro. So, beyond that, the only thing we really need to talk about now is, the financial aspect of this. Bro had basically a high-paying job, and now he doesn't have that job anymore. He got shit canned, and it was his own doing. And, with the Pivot podcast, because he does have a backup, he has the Pivot podcast. With the Pivot podcast, I don't feel he did as much of the race hustling shit, but I think he didn't do that because, Channing Crowder and the other, who else does he host that with? I forgot the other guy's name. Let me see. Fred Taylor, Channing Crowder. Yeah, with Fred Taylor and Channing Crowder, they didn't really let him get away with that BS. They weren't really like on the racial, the race hustling stuff. They were kind of just like, dude, we talking about sports, man. And he would try that on there with them, but they didn't go for it. They didn't go for that stuff. But he gets to ESPN, he had success with it one time, and then it became like, it became like everything. It became his whole identity on there. But and the funny thing is, he would have criticisms of every football player, but no one ever accused him of being racist. No one would say, "Oh, you only hate this guy because he's black, because he's white." But now, with the way he showed his ass at ESPN, can you even go on his show and feel like he's giving you a fair shake? Can you even go on his show and be like, "Hey, this guy is a straight shooter"? He's gonna call it like he sees it. And all he has is the pivot. He's done with ESPN. He never even launched his own thing because I don't think he could carry it. And this is why I say you got to be absolutely stupid to try to go the Jamel Hill route and not at least entertain the Stephen A route. The fact that he's never even been on Straight Shooter, as far as I know, it just shows you this guy is just a grifter. Stephen A. Smith calls anybody who's worthwhile to be on his show. But when you're a straight up grifter, nobody wants to listen to you. Nobody wants to listen to what you have to say. And that's what Ryan Clark positioned himself as. And now he's gone. It's like, that's it. This I want to play this real quick. This is an episode of The Pivot where they were talking about Tony Hinchcliffe, the creator of Kill Tony. And this guy had a lot to say about, Ryan Clark had a lot to say about Tony Hinchcliffe. And it's like he was doing it here with the race bait and stuff. I don't understand why a dude who played in the NFL bust his ass, earned his stripes, put in the work. What makes your mind switch? What makes your animal brain go from being a dog, like, nigga, I'm out here getting it, to being like, now I want to play the victim. Now an Uber driver made me cry.
So I think you got to be like your worst critic in a sense. And I never blame the crowd. It's never the crowd fault. It's always me. If I fuck up, it's me. It's not them. If I want to be the best that I think I can be, I should be able to do that. How I grade myself, either I kill or I bomb. There's no in between. If I did okay, I bomb. I want to be great. So no situation where it's like, oh man, like that could have been better, but I ain't know it could have been.
Like you said, you say slurs and say all that. You got to turn that off.
Who said slurs?
No, they were saying with going in the TV.
Oh yeah.
You got to turn that off. Is that just a switch? Because I'm the same way. I cuss all the time. You know what I'm saying? We know how we speak.
You got to when it clicked for him like that. I've been watching him for a long time. He been doing it a long time. But he was putting out like what, an hour and a half?
He's doing that freaky stuff.
Congratulations on SNL, and I ain't get it back to him like I think a month ago.
Cam, Josh over there.
What?
Josh.
He's doing that freaky stuff again.
Oh, come on, man.
I'm messing around.
Now, that nigga, that nigga simple. He funny as hell.
But
he do something that's so like, to be able to, he was putting out like what, an hour and a half?
He still does it every week.
He's a monster, dog. And he been doing it a long time, but I mean, he's a person when you look at what he's doing as a comic, and I just go, man, it's just beautiful. My brain don't work like that yet. I know what I'm saying? I don't know what year he got to when it clicked for him like that. I've been watching him for a long time. I mean, when he had the afro, you know what I'm saying, on Comedy Central. So I've been watching him for like a long time. But this shit he doing right now is just so, I mean, it's beautiful to watch. As a young comic, just, you know what I'm saying, trying to get better, be able to watch him and see how his brain works when it comes to what he puts out is phenomenal, dog.
I've seen him on a ton of shows now. When we had him on the show, he hadn't done as many podcasts. It was like he first got the job on the Daily Show. And I remember him sitting down with us and just killing it. Like, just every story was great. His comedic timing was amazing. But the thing that he does really well, why he's able to put a set out, is because he talks about current events.
Yes.
Whatever happened during that week, he's basically doing a podcast on the stage.
Yeah. Oh. What?
I'm sorry. We're trying to vlog. Are there stairs? Stairs?
Sorry, guys. I had to get the timestamp. Thank you for bearing with me. But here it is right here.
person and his character and stuff. I mean, it's just his form of
with the George.
I was like, no, let's go. Just
Here we
until
go.
comedy pop.
He's
Comedy
about
go
to play
pop
the
soon.
victim right now.
And then I was probably on her couch for like 3 months. Then I moved to Austin.
Mm.
And then it went up. You know what I'm saying? It went up.
And this is a question I have, right? With Tony.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Many people in our community feel like he went too far with the George Floyd joke at the Kevin Hart roast. What are
First of all, many people in our community don't even know who Tony Hinchcliffe is. Many people in our community don't give a damn about George Floyd. Many people in our community feel like George Floyd was used as a psyop to get black people to destroy their own community. And many people don't care about what Tony Hinchcliffe said about George Floyd. But this jerk, this degenerate elite, as I call them, he's going to take George Floyd, resurrect him back to life, and try to get an emotional reaction out of the people watching his show, over George Floyd again. Black people don't give a damn about George Floyd. Black people tore down the city in the summer of love because that's what they were baited into doing by the powers that be. It had little to nothing to do with George Floyd. But only the race hustlers, race baiters, grifters, and con artists continue to keep trying to paint this image that black people are just so broken up about George Floyd. We're not. I'm black. I'm telling you, we're not. They don't care about him. Black people crack jokes about George Floyd, fentanyl Floyd, all this stuff. They understand what it was, a psyop. And when Tony Hinchcliffe made fun of his ass, most black people thought it was hilarious.
your thoughts on that in being a black man, but also somebody who was around him, knows him, and it's really a huge part of why your comedy career took off?
Tony changed my life, dog, and I knew like him as a person and his character and stuff. I mean, it's just his form of comedy. You know what I'm saying? That's just what he like to talk about. I can't speak for somebody what they want to talk about, but I know.
Dude, Tony changed my life. That's his form of comedy. Every black person has the white friend who be cracking racist jokes. Now, I don't care if you crack a racist joke about me, because if as long as when I crack a racist joke about you, you're not tripping, right? That's the whole thing. We have this mutual understanding. Why does it go beyond that? Because people like Ryan Clark. I have no real talent in the podcasting space. So I use racial animus as a catalyst to get an emotional reaction out of people. And I'm just going to ride on that. And when ESPN saw that that's all bro knew how to do, he was done.
For him, I know he's not a racist. I know the nigga mama, dog. Like, I done been around, you know what I'm saying, all these people and shit. He helped change my whole life. So I can't sit here and be like, oh, I know the guy. He's not a racist.
Mm-hmm.
That's just his form of comedy. I think everybody's form of comedy is very different. You feel what I'm saying? I try to be an advocate, especially like for us in white spaces, as best I can. You feel what I'm saying? I'm getting older and I'm figuring out how to do that out. I'm figuring out how to do that better. But I mean, it's a situation.
And that's the thing I don't like. Like, I like Cam Patterson. He's a funny dude. Cam, you don't have to be an advocate for black people you don't have to be an advocate for black people for white people. White people know black people. Niggas and crackers know each other better than anybody. We've been in this bitch together longer than anybody else. We know each other well. White people don't need me to advocate for black people to them. And I don't need a white guy to advocate for black people for white people for me. I understand white folks. I understand how they think. They understand black people. They understand how we think. Understand that. They literally trained you to think how you think during slavery for the most part. So you're going to say they don't know how you think? They know exactly what makes you tick, just like you know exactly what makes them tick. What are white people? What make white folks tick? Money. They love money. anything that will bring them wealth or resources, they are going to get up and do something strange for it, period. What makes black people tick? Attention, acceptance, equality. Shit that don't mean shit. If a black person gonna get some attention and some acceptance and some equality to somebody they think is better off than them, they gonna show up. Believe that. And so therefore, money makes us tick too, because we know we can use money to gain those things. We're either going to gain them through use of money or sympathy. The white man trained you to be a capitalist just like him. And he didn't really even have to train you because you were a capitalist in Africa. That's why your ass got sold. Because the African capitalist was like, oh, I could sell my cousin and you gonna give me some money? You gonna give me some guns and tobacco? Because we already had the gold and shit. We didn't need that. We all love money. So we all know what's up. Cam Patterson is going to defend Tony Hinchcliffe because Tony Hinchcliffe put a bunch of money in his pocket. At that point, Tony Hinchcliffe could say whatever the hell he wants to. And Cam is going to defend him because he's putting money in his pocket. Just and vice versa. Cam could go shoot up his neighborhood every night. Tony would, if Cam Patterson was putting a bunch of money in Tony's pocket, Tony would defend his ass. Hey, man, look, I ain't going to judge, bro. You know what I'm saying? He do what he do. All I know is he changed my life. Just like black folks, they'll scream and holler, everybody racist. But they'll show up to that job and code switch and, Jimmy, you're so funny around the water cooler. Why? Because they putting some money in his pocket. White folks ain't dumb. They know you. There's two things that's going to make a black person work. Either you're going to beat their ass with a bullwhip or you're going to give them some money. That's the two things that's going to make us move. White folks, it's a little different. You could beat them with a bullwhip. They probably still not going to work for you just out of sheer pride and ego. But if you give them some money, they're going to get up and start moving. It's a black dude right by me. He work at a barbecue stand. He owns the barbecue stand in a white neighborhood. Everybody work for him white. You think they give a fuck about what color he is? He's signing the checks. He's the boss because he's signing the checks. And if he say your ass gonna stay over 2 hours, you gonna stay over 2 hours. There's nothing you need to know in this world. Race don't even matter. The only color that matter in this world is green. And what we know about this idiot Ryan Clark is he lost a whole lot of it trying to focus on race and grift.
The way where how I feel about the joke don't matter because I know his character and I didn't know him as a person. You know what I'm saying?
And recognizing that, what's like the biggest thing that you learned from him, whether people agree with him or not?
Not everybody gonna like you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't watch people hate that man since I met him. He's only gotten bigger.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? Some situations where like not everybody gonna rock what you got going on or like what you doing or how you move and stuff, but the people that rock with you gonna be there. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? As long as them people still got your back, I mean, it's not, you know what I'm saying, what you gotta worry about everything else for. Cause I mean, online is online, but until you know somebody like that as a person, that's a very different thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's how I feel about it. Cause one thing come back to the comedy thing, I know it's a lot of like small beefs and all the other shit when it comes to stand up. When it comes to me, when it comes to anybody that does comedy, if you fuck with me or you don't fuck with me, I respect you as a comic. Yeah. You feel what I'm saying? Because it's such a hard thing to do. And I know how hard it is to one, blow in comedy and then stay relevant in the thing. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, Tony just taught me just to keep whatever anybody feel about you, how they think what you is or something, just keep running.
We always talk about.
Hey, Tony taught bro to think like a white person. See, black people, we're overly concerned with what other people think about us. And that's our major downfall as a people. We want to be liked. We don't realize that being liked and loved and celebrated is the residual of standing on something and working for something. We don't want to work for anything in particular. We want to work at forcing people to like us. The acceptance and shit come later. Do you notice no other racial group had to fight for acceptance in America? Oh, that's because we fought for it for him. No, you fought for it foolishly because it was going to come no matter what. Because you know why? Everybody liked somebody who put money in their pocket. And if somebody don't like you and you still putting money in their pocket, then you just a damn fool. Everybody likes somebody who putting money in their pocket. I'm sure it's people who live next door to me who don't like me, but I bet you if I walked up and gave them $1,000, they ain't gonna be like, I hate him. I bet you if I said, let me pay your mortgage this month, they're not gonna be like, I hate this dude. Y'all better get it you better get it together. Because if you don't, you're gonna end up like this fool. Only difference is you a fool like he a fool, but he a fool with millions of dollars in the bank. But see, money don't guarantee nothing. Because with all the money he got, he can't pay ESPN to keep him on the air. He's gone. What's the old saying? A fool and his money are soon parted. That's what happened with him. He lost a whole bag and I know Ryan Clark is a smart guy, but he chose to be a dumb guy, some dumb guy on TV, on national television. But yeah, we about to be done with this dude. But man, lately I've been thinking a lot about like how all this stuff is connected. And I think one of the gifts that God gave me was the ability to kind of see the connection between things that ultimately don't seem connected. That's what really got me on this whole idea of like the degenerate elite. People who are, they're wealthy, they have money, they have riches, they have resources. But instead of allowing these things to like level up their thinking, instead of their thinking and their mindset reflecting all that they have and what they had to do to get it, these people still choose to operate in a degenerate capacity. That's what Ryan Clark is doing. That's literally what this guy is doing. And that's what this lady, Sunny Holston from The View, she's like a Ryan Clark type character. That's what she did when her son was recently arrested. And she tried to use the fact that she was once a federal prosecutor to get this guy out of trouble. And so you have Sunny Holston. She's her son trespasses on somebody's property, right? And instead of just being like, you know what, my son is a grown-ass man, he needs to be held accountable for his decisions. This lady, degenerate elite, very smart, very accomplished woman, right? A lot of y'all are dumb enough to let this lady give y'all advice on what you should do politically. She tries to use the fact that she was that she's an ex-federal prosecutor to, I guess, get him out of the situation. She basically shows you guys that despite everything she says about Donald Trump, nobody being above the law, they say all this stuff. She feels like because of her resume and her experience that her child should be above the law. And I keep telling you guys, these people want you to believe they're virtuous. These people want you to believe they care about you. They want you to believe that they're in this socialism and the rich should pay their fair share and we need to help the poor and the people should have universal health care and all this stuff. They are just trying to get you comfortable with the idea of being poor and having nothing, because the poorer you are, right, the more they can screw you over with no repercussions. Sunny Holston in this moment said, forget F the person who my son trespassed against. F the person who my son committed this crime against. I'm rich. I'm a former federal prosecutor. He's my son, right? And he should be above the law that all of you scrubs and chumps have to follow, because my status should determine whether or not the law applies to him. You guys trust these people? These people want nothing more than to make you slaves.
Normally, it's a misdemeanor charge. We're dumbing it down to a violation. Okay, I know you're upset. We just do it as a deterrence because, again, like I explained to you on the phone, besides being illegal, which is far from the subject, it's dangerous.
My mom's a lawyer, by the way.
That's okay. What's your name?
Who cares?
What's your name, sir?
I'm Brian.
Brian, is that your badge number 2814?
Yes. So the reason we're stopping you, this is trespassing right here.
Oh, I'm sorry. The it was open over there. I was just walking on a run here.
Where are you coming from? All the way over there?
Yeah.
Okay. So
I saw. I just looked open for me, so I just walked in.
So this is considered trespassing. It's criminal trespass. The reason why it's such a big deal, people get hit by a train all the time. We want to prevent it, obviously.
Okay? Can you please?
You want me to hold it for you?
Yeah, my mom. The phone's at 2%. FYI. Here you go.
So this is considered trespassing. It's a big deal. We don't want people to get hit by a train, which is why we can run it over. Okay. Do you have any ID on you?
Yes.
Okay. Where is it?
It's in my phone. If you take off the case.
Tell them your mother is a federal prosecutor.
Yes.
What does that have to do with anything? Tell them your mother is a federal prosecutor. Bro is trespassing. Don't know why he's doing that, but he's trespassing. He probably was out there smoking dope. That's what it looks like to me. Probably was out there getting high and found a little honey hole and thought he was going to be over there, be able to go in there and beam up or something. Because he probably still lived with his mom and he probably got to go outside to get high or probably hang around in shady areas, right? That's what it looks like to me. But the fact that this guy called his mother when he got arrested or when he was being arrested shows you everything you need to know. These people are on the internet every day criticizing people. They're criticizing Trump. They're criticizing everybody from this position of virtue. Oh, we're great. We're amazing. We're so special. Girl, you're raising a degenerate son who gets in trouble. He's well past 20 years old and can't even handle his business on his own. He has to call mommy so she could try to come to the rescue and bail him out. You're never going to see Barron Trump in this situation. You've never seen any of Trump's children in this situation. But you're going to take your orders, your marching orders from this woman who has no type of parenting ability at all. I can tell that just by the fact that she's still on the phone. Oh, you done got yourself in trouble? Call me when you get to jail. Let me know what happened. She's raising a bunch of entitled kids. He's laughing. Oh, that's your badge number? Whoop, and everything else. Come on, bro. You know you're doing something you ain't got no business doing. And what does Sonny Holston say? We have to follow the law. No one's above the law. She repeatedly said that when Donald Trump was being attacked by the justice system, when the justice system was being weaponized against Donald Trump. No one's above the law. Now that it's her son, you tell them that mama is a federal prosecutor. Like, why is he above the law? These people, what do we always say about liberals? It's always rules for thee. You suckers and chumps have to follow the rules, but not for me. We're above the rules. We're above the law. You better pay attention. Will you let these people tell you who and what to vote for?
Hey, Mom, how are you? This is Officer Gomez. Your son's fine.
Officer Gomez,
how are you?
This is
Yes.
former federal prosecutor.
Okay,
That's
fair
my
enough.
son.
Yep.
He's a Harvard graduate.
Yep.
He's not a criminal. He has no criminal record, no criminal history.
Mm-hmm. Yes. No, I understand that. The issue is, like I told your son, is this is considered criminal trespassing. So besides being illegal,
so you can't commit so many crimes and think that you are above the law, even if you are the president.
Tell them your mother is a federal prosecutor. Are you arresting my son?
You can't commit so many crimes and think that you are above the law, even if you are the president.
Tell them your mother is a federal prosecutor. Are you arresting my son?
So it really is a celebration of the law. It's a celebration of the law and how it applies to all of us.
Charge, we're dumbing it down to a violation, okay? I know you're upset.
I'm a former federal prosecutor. He knows he's a Harvard grad who teaches fourth grade geometry to his kids. He's not a kid who's ever in trouble.
Yeah, he's not a kid at all. He's not a kid at all. He's a grown man who broke the law. And the fact that they just took him and dropped him off over there. Okay, so do you think if your kids were arrested for federal prosecution, for criminal trespassing, you think they're going to just bring that kid to your house? I don't know if this is her house. This looks like a house. You think they're going to bring them to your house and just let them go? No. But I keep telling you guys, these people, they are fighting to be above the rules. That's what they're fighting for. They don't care what happens to you, but you're going to be the dummy who helps them fight to the point where they're above the rules, and then they're going to be able to do anything they want to you, and there's going to be nothing you can do about it. This woman was saying the president is not above the law, but now her degenerate son is above the law. So her degenerate son is greater than our commander-in-chief. Her degenerate son is greater than Donald Trump. He's above the law now because the law shouldn't apply to him. I don't see how anybody could take this woman serious. I'm playing this again.
You can't commit so many crimes and think that you are above the law, even if you are the president.
Tell them your mother is a federal prosecutor. Are you arresting my son?
So it really is a celebration of the law. It's a celebration of the law and how it applies to all of us.
Charge, we're dumbing it down to a violation, okay? I know you're upset.
I'm a former federal prosecutor. He knows he's a Harvard grad who teaches fourth grade geometry to his kids. He's not a kid who's ever in trouble. You can't commit so many crimes and think that you are above the law, even if you are the president.
Tell them your mother is a federal prosecutor. Are you arresting my son?
So it really is a celebration of the law. It's a celebration of the law and how it applies to.
Yeah, celebration of the law, my ass. Celebration of the law, my ass. Her, Whoopi, Joy, these people are the degenerate elite. And the degenerate elite are recruiting an army. The degenerate, what I like to call, and I want you guys to use that term, the degenerate elite are recruiting an army of poor people to fight for them against law and order, progress, prosperity, and all these things. And the minute they win the victory, they will turn on those poor people. And that is when you will see the atrocities get committed in this country. Why is she so hard pressed to hold the president of the United States accountable? But her son shouldn't be held accountable because he is a Harvard graduate. And they said this is normally a misdemeanor, but we're going to dumb it down to a violation. The police are in on it. The police are in on it. And let me tell you something. When you see crime rates going up, when you see flocking going up, when you see robberies and stuff going up, please don't think that that's poor people doing that. Many times these are the children of people who are rich. Many times these are the children of people who have money. They cut their kid off, and because their kid is entitled and doesn't believe in working for what they want, they've been trained to believe they don't have to, they go do crime. So if you are the rich elites, the degenerate elite, as I call them, what are you going to do? Knowing that you've raised an entire generation of entitled, criminal-minded children who don't see the seriousness in committing crime. You're going to work to make soft on crime policies. See, Sonny Holston's son can still go run for elected office. He could still go and become a cop or a prosecutor now because his misdemeanor that in many cases would disqualify anyone else from holding any serious position within city government, was reduced to a violation and simply just reported with no consequence by the police. They bent the knee to her position, her former position. And someone who's saying no one is above the law allowed that to happen. She should have said, son, you know what? No one's above the law. You got to deal with the consequences of your action. I'll represent you in court. No. She circumvented. She bypassed our criminal justice system and the enforcement of the law by using her status, but gets on The View every day and talks against people being able to do that. Shout out to 3 Man Podcast for the $2 holler. Support the show, ninjas. Likes are free. Please like the show. Please hit the like button. Y'all, don't y'all want me to do well? Don't y'all want me to be up there with the big boys, with the commentary and the live streams and all that? Y'all got to like the content. Just hit the like button. Cost you nothing. Cost you nothing. You know what I'm saying? Hit that like button. I got some more super chats here. I got that one. Shout out to my brother, Mr. Ed What again. Absolutely despise race hustlers and grifters. Me too, man. I'm tired of that mess. You know, black folks, we better than that. We're smart too. We're intelligent. Look at us on YouTube. We got some of the biggest channels on YouTube that ain't talking, they ain't saying nothing about no race hustling and grifting. And that's built on a strong foundation, not built on conning people. You know, when you get older, you start looking at that stuff differently, which I always have. But it's like, man, I don't need that to be successful. And if I'm not successful doing what I love but being honest, then I guess success just wasn't meant for me. You are the only person who can truly define success for yourself. Shout out to Mr. Edward again. They pandered to the low IQ. Exactly. And the low IQ love it because it's entertaining. Everyone who has ever sat under the sound of Sonny Holston's voice should have a problem with what happened in that video. But they won't. They profiled him because he's black. They don't even want to see that she's manipulating them. Just like when she did her DNA and it came back that she was the descendant of slave owners. After hollering for reparations and George Floyd and everything else. Attorney Tyke said she should get fired for lying to the audience about who she is. Right. 100%. But yeah, so there's one more thing I want to connect this whole show to, because I think all this has something to do with each other. The Ryan Clark situation is connected to the Sonny Holston situation. And the Sonny Holston situation, to me, is connected to this situation with Zohran Mamdani in New York. Because I'm telling you, these people are using lies and deception and psyops. They're using it to create this thing that they're calling a revolution, but really it's a collapse. It's a collapse. You got the news commentator on national television, race hustling, race baiting. You got Sonny Holston on The View, race hustling, race baiting, right? Digging up old skeletons of racism that America, in my opinion, put to bed long ago. Dividing us along the lines of race again, trying to, right? So that they can usher in this new, culture. This culture where it's like, socialist culture. We're going to give you everything for free. We're going to make a bunch of promises to you. And you're going to benefit. All you got to do is allow us to weaponize race one more time. All you have to do is allow us to weaponize race one more time. And we promise you everything going to be free. Ryan Clark was on the reparations stuff. Talking about that. Sounding like a fool. Sonny Holston was on the reparations grift. Right on The View. talking about reparations, right? But I told my friend the other day, I said, I have this theory. I have this theory that the reparations grift among Black people, right? I believe that is a Trojan horse. I believe that the reparations grift among Black people.
Normally, it's a misdemeanor charge. We're dumbing it down to a violation.
That is meant to get people.
I mean, you can't commit so many. I mean, you can't commit.
I believe that it's a grift. I believe it's a psyop designed to get people to accept socialism. Because once you get denied reparations, right? What's the recourse? See, because reparations is basically about getting a bunch of money that you ultimately didn't work for. Your ancestors worked and you want to get paid on their behalf. So it appeals to lazy people who don't really want to do nothing with themselves. Isn't that the same group of people that socialism appeals to? Like, let's be real. Isn't that the same? The socialists and the reparationists are the same group of people. That is why the two fake movements, the two scams, that's why they came together so easily. Well, you want free money, which ultimately allows you to buy stuff you basically get free stuff, right? Socialism is like, yo, we just need to give them the free stuff. We don't got to hand them no money, which I think most Black people in America have accepted that, right? But even though we can't give them any money, we can still lure them to our side with this promise of free stuff. And it's so crazy to me, right? It's so crazy to me how people don't see this. I'm going to show you right now. It's all connected. They're trying to bring it to you in different waves and make you think, oh, these are like independent movements that are, converging because we all agree and we're all coming together. No, this is all one big blob of degeneracy. They're throwing every bad idea at the wall, every lie, every grift, every con, and they're just seeing which one sticks.
Wow. I'm a little bit in shock. I just always thought of myself as Puerto Rican, half Puerto Rican. I didn't think I was, my family was originally from Spain and slaveholders.
Yeah. So how are you feeling, my friend?
I think it's actually pretty interesting that my husband and I have shared roots.
Yeah.
So I do appreciate that. And I think it's great for our children to know this information. I guess it's a fact of life that this is how some people made their living, on the backs of others. Wow. I'm a little bit in shock.
Some people made she said some people made their living on the backs of others. Yeah, those are the slave owners, right? They made their living on the backs of slaves, right? So she's an advocate for reparations. But then she found out she was the descendant of slave owners right here. She looked up her DNA. She's not the descendant of slaves. She's a descendant of slave owners, right? And isn't it funny how all these years later, she's making her living off the backs of the descendants of slaves? Isn't it crazy how she sits up and lies to these people? Right? Isn't it crazy? She lies to people with these different racial grifts, the race hustling, the race baiting, the reparations talk. She's a degenerate. Even when you listen to her talking on The View about her son, even when you listen to her talk about what happened with her son, she proves she's a degenerate. I think we can get audio. I'm gonna play a little bit of the audio to see if we can slide it by. Let me see. Let me go here. I want you to hear what she said about her son.
As a mother of Black children, I know that Black boys are not given the presumption of innocence and the presumption of youth. She's calling the police and saying they're trying to steal her car and they're 11 years old. They don't know how to drive. And so for me, what was interesting was I have had to be in the position where I have gone to my local police department because I know my son is going to be training for the Junior Olympics, running around the neighborhood in an all-white neighborhood. And I have brought him to the police and said, he belongs to me. This is my son. Do not harass him. Do not stop him.
Get the hell out of here. I don't believe anything this lady says. If you guys can hear that, I don't believe anything she says. She's using this. She's using this as an excuse as a way to race bait. I need to make them feel that we are connected. I'm a federal prosecutor. I didn't send Black people to jail left, right, up, down. If you were a federal prosecutor, you sent Black folks to jail. Now, in my second life, I got to convince Black people I'm on their side. She's doing the same shit Kamala Harris did. Kamala Harris spent her whole life sending Black people to jail, refusing to prosecute dirty cops, making laws that disproportionately impact Black people. And then she came back and said, I want to be president now. I'm one of you. I'm one of you. You're not one of us, Kamala. You're a damn degenerate grifter. You hate Black people. And you prey on Black people's gullibility. That's the worst part. That's the part I can't stand. At least me, I love you enough to tell you how I really think about you. I love you enough to tell you how I really feel about you. But you want to be like a lot of Black folks, they want to be lied to. And when you develop this mindset where you only want to hear the good and none of the bad, you make yourself twice a candidate for abuse. You make yourself twice a candidate to be hoodwinked and bamboozled and run amok, to be a political chump. You just keep falling for it. No, that's what you look at Alphonse Clinton. We would have been better off with her than what we have now. No, you wouldn't have. You sound dumb, Alphonse. She was already in charge before Trump. She sat quietly while our president, I'm gonna pull her face up so people know exactly what we're talking about. Listen, man.
If there is another,
let me tell you how stupid. Wait, hold on real quick. You know what I'm saying? Let me pull her face up. Because I like to look at Kamala Harris's face when I disparage her. This comment is crazy. This comment is crazy. We would have been better off than what we had now. First and foremost, I'm doing her justice with this one. Let me see. Can y'all see this? Okay. So our buddy says, we would have been better off with Kamala than what we got now. My friend, you're sounding like a fool. You would have been better off with Kamala than with what you got now, right? Oh, Lord. Let me just say this. This is my first question. How do you know? How do you know? Nobody knows what Kamala was planning to do. Kamala wouldn't tell us what she was planning to do. Kamala couldn't tell us what she was planning to do. Kamala had many microphones in her face and not the kind she likes. And while in front of a microphone, in front of a crowd of people, Kamala could never say, if I am elected, I'm going to do this, this, and this. She was so bad that the only policies she did ever present were policies that she stole from Donald Trump. So how do you say that voting for a candidate who had to steal their policy ideas from Trump would have been better, would have been better off than voting for Trump. Then on top of that, let's not forget, Kamala Harris literally sat in her office, the vice president's mansion, while our country was taken over by shadowy figures, people we don't know. People we did not elect took over our country by way of the auto pen. Do you guys understand that our country under Joe Biden was being run by people we never elected? Because he was cognitively unable to run the country. So who was making the decisions and who was pulling the strings? You don't know. It wasn't her. They exiled her. They said, we're not even putting you on camera. They put her in the doghouse. But here's the problem. She knew what was going on. And she could have blew the lid wide open on everything and actually became president because she was vice president. She didn't respect you enough to tell the truth, which would have worked to her own benefit. Think about that. Imagine someone saying, Brandon, all you got to do is tell your audience the truth and we're going to give you $1 million. And I'm like, nah, I think I'm going to keep lying to these. Yeah, I think I'm going to keep lying to them. She wouldn't even tell you the truth when it would have directly when she would have directly benefited from it. And you think you would have been better off under her? That tells me all I need to know about Kamala. Kamala is an empty suit, ready to bend the knee to whoever is the highest bidder. She's an empty suit, my brother. And I'm not saying this to hurt you or none of that. I'm saying this because it's the truth. At least at the end of the day with Trump, he's his own man. He makes his own decisions, whether you like it or not. But Kamala Harris, hell no. Hell no. And you know, I'm proud of black people. I'm proud of black people. Alphonse, you said, do you think Trump is running the country now? I think he is. Who do you think is running the country? Here's a better yet. Who do you think was running the country under Biden and Kamala? Because you want to put us back under Kamala. So tell me, who do you think was running the country when Kamala was already over the top of us as vice president? I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting. Because you said we would be better off under her. So you know what's best for us. Can you tell us who were the shadowy figures running the country under Kamala when we were under Kamala? You probably can't. But like I said, I'm proud of black folks because this little grifter on Vox, and this is why no one watches this shit anymore. This little grifter on Vox, he tried to do he made a very deceptive video, which ultimately he got exposed. They said the video was called "Who Wants Kamala to Run?" Right? Let me show y'all this. This black guy. It's always us. It's always us, right? But the video is called "Who Wants Kamala to Run?" America, actually. And if ever something backfired in somebody's face, it was this video. This guy goes, first of all, he goes out to do what many would call ethnographic research, right? He immerses himself amongst a bunch of black people. He says he's going to go to see if the country truly supports Kamala. You already know that he's a shyster and a damn grifter because he goes to South Carolina. It's all blacks. Not only is it all blacks, it's blacks in a red state. So you know they're really gonna be hard up for Democrats, right? But he didn't get the answers he wanted from these black people. So he had to start coaching them, right? He had to start coaching them so that his video would not be total disaster. And it was really pathetic. And I want y'all to hear this. And it made me proud of black folks. But it made me proud of them and pissed off and disgusted with them at the same time.
North Charleston. Now, South Carolina is a crucial state for Democrats running for president. It's one of the first primary states, and it has a highly influential share of black voters. Okay, so I am going to write out a couple signs that give people a sense of what we're doing here so they know to talk to us.
I love you
The
too,
first is gonna
Shama.
say podcast taping, come chat with us, something friendly to bring in the vibes. And then the second one will ask our question, should Kamala Harris run for president again in 2028? We had our signs, a yes and a no bucket for people to vote. Okay, King, let's wish us good luck. You gotta know. Yeah, thanks. What's up, y'all? You want to chat with us? Hey, y'all, how are you? Do you want to vote in our poll? Please, pretty please. So here's the deal. It's a little experiment. We got to either vote yes, no, and tell us why. And so you can go ahead. So we can look, we can not look, we can talk to you, you can keep it secret. It's up to you.
Okay. So you're not gonna look at my phone.
Now I won't if you don't want me to.
Now let's all look.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and look.
I'm just gonna say burnt out. Big time. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, why do you think that?
Well, I mean, you got Biden dropping out. You bring her in, no primary. And she's stacking up the minority cards a little bit too much. If you didn't go for Hillary, it's definitely not going to go for Kamala. I think we found that out. I don't think there's any need for us to dip our toe in that pool again.
So what am I hearing is you think just it's too hard for a black woman to win?
Absolutely, 100%. Just in general, not even elections, just in America, So
you're saying because of that, you think that Democrats should nominate somebody else?
Absolutely, for sure.
Okay, so right there, he thought that dude was going to say, yeah, I support Kamala. She should run again. Woo woo. But now the Democrats, the black Democrats, they're doing what we know they're doing what they've been trained to do like dogs. They're doubling down on the white man. You guys see how this is a circular thing? And I've explained this many, many times. George Floyd got killed. The only person who benefited from George Floyd dying was white Joe Biden. I'm going to say this one more time. A black man named George Floyd got killed. And the only person who actually benefited from that was a white man named Joe Biden. And once black people put Joe Biden in office, Joe Biden stopped answering the phone calls of the black leaders and ultimately delivered absolutely nothing to black people. Now, he put Kamala Harris as his vice president, right? Right? So you thought, we got a chance of having the first black woman president, right? They systematically edged Kamala out, and they did such a good job at it that now they got black people saying, we won't support Kamala. Why? Not because we don't like black women, but because we don't believe the white men in America will vote for a black woman. But we need Democrats to win. So therefore, we need to not vote for a black woman so we can ensure that Democrats win. Do you see the mind? Well, I'm not going to say that. Do you see the way they've totally brainwashed these idiots? You doing everything based on somebody. You voted for Biden because the black man George Floyd got killed. Then you voted for him because he chose a black woman to be his running mate. But since they got your vote in that election, they figured out how to totally move you off of your pro-black square. They totally figured out how to get you to not vote based on identity, but still vote Democrat. Like, it's hard for me to explain it, but it's high level programming. When we keep watching this video, you're going to see that even black women don't no longer support Kamala, not because they don't like her, not because they don't want her to be president, but because they don't think she can win.
What do you think about what he just said?
I think it's hard because, you want black women to succeed, you want to see them, but you have to play the game. And I don't think that Kamala can win the game.
You want black women, you want the sisterhood to succeed, but you have to play the game. So in order to play the game, we got to vote for a white man, particularly Gavin Newsom, a dude who destroyed the state of California, which I live in. So we have to vote for him to come in and destroy the country. Do you see how they can trick you into voting against your own downfall? Let's also notice this. Gavin Newsom doesn't support reparations. Gavin Newsom told the California Congress, do not vote on the reparations bill. Gavin Newsom said cash payments, reparations in the form of cash payments will never happen. But black people are voting for him. Come on, man.
Going into election day last year, do you think she was already, did you think like, oh, a black woman can win? Or did it took after that? You're like, now I'm done.
It took after that. I think I was just as surprised as I think a lot of people were to think that it's not even like, oh, we're not as progressive. It's just like, oh, I think we're at a unique time in America where it's like, you don't need to be political to be a politician.
Mhm.
You need to be popular. You need to be sellable. You need to be favored. Like, you need to be a lot more.
Why isn't she? I mean, theoretically.
She's too smart.
You need, so, yeah.
She's too smart. I think that people can't relate to her. I think the people in middle of nowhere, I think it's really easy in a big city to compare yourself to other people looking around. But I've lived in rural Georgia, rural Ohio. Like, I've lived in these rural areas where you drive and you see nothing but
and you still live in rural South Carolina, doofus. Oh, she's too smart. I don't think there's anyone that would accuse Kamala Harris of being smart. This is frustrating. Because she's going to say, we need to vote for Gavin Newsom. What do we know Gavin Newsom supports? Open borders. Mr. Elwood, you hit it right on the head. Imagine voting for your own replacement. Imagine voting for a man to be president who systematically wiped black people off out of California. Gavin Newsom's policies wiped black people out of California, forced a bunch of black people to leave. A lot of his policies ran black people out of the state. Now imagine being black and voting for this guy to run the entire country. Imagine that. And she says, Kamala Harris is too smart. No, Kamala Harris is dumb, and you are also dumb. And the dude standing next to you and the dude holding the microphone is also dumb. These three people represent the lowest level of thinking in the black community. We're going to vote for an open borders advocate over a black woman because we have to play the game. You don't have to play the game. You don't even have to participate in the game. As a matter of fact, I wish you wouldn't participate in the game, because if you didn't participate in the game, our country might have a chance at improving. She couldn't tell you one Gavin Newsom policy that she supports. But she knows that in 2028, her vote is going to Gavin Newsom. She doesn't know why. She doesn't know why. But she knows it's going there. She knows she can't vote for that black woman. No, I can't vote for the sister. Because you got to play the game. And the worst thing about these people is they believe they sound intelligent. But it's really funny because with this guy, he thought he was about to get. How are you saying his video was called "Who Wants Kamala Harris to Run for President or Be President?" America actually, no, they don't. Everybody who answered him literally said, we don't think Kamala should run because she can't win. So how do you even, in good faith, title the video that?
Republican, you see nothing but support. And it's like, how do you change the mind?
Yeah.
And I don't think a person like Kamala, I think she's too far. I think, you need to consider someone like Gavin Newsom, someone who looks a little bit more like what they're used to dip the toe in.
So we're saying white guy again.
Yeah. Or white woman, but you saw how that went the first time.
I want to hear you though.
I love this right here. Why is the defense for black women that black women are so great they have to fail? Maybe you just aren't that good. 100%. The fact that these people look at Kamala Harris as black excellence is disgusting. My daughter is a better public speaker than Kamala Harris. Excuse me, highly indoctrinated black woman. I'm telling you, these people are so brainwashed that they ultimately become the very oppressor that they claim to be fighting against. You said the white man was the enemy. Now you're saying I have to vote for the white man over the black woman because I have to play the game. Not only am I voting for the white man over the black woman, I'm voting for the white man who literally will usher in black replacement the moment he's elected, just the same way he did in California. Kamala Harris was going to usher it in too, but at least you got a black woman as president, someone who looked like you. I mean, hell, you got a little representation, and she's not even black like that. But do you see why we get so angry and frustrated with these people? These people don't know if they're coming or going. They don't know their ass from their elbow. But they swear they got some type of supreme understanding when it comes to politics in this country. Now watch this guy trick her into saying he's going to trick her into supporting Kamala Harris so that he can make his video relevant, because they all said no, and they're going to keep saying no. But he's going to start tricking them and convincing them to support Kamala again.
We saying white guy? I'm saying it because I'm at a point now where I would rather have a competent white man than have another Trump run that back. And I think it's unfortunate. I think it's unfortunate that's like where we are.
Yeah.
But I think that we've like just progressed so far back to like, it's almost like we have to start.
How do you progress back? She's so smart, she doesn't know the word regress. But she said, I'm just scared of the fact that we've progressed so far back. And this is somebody who is supposed to be intelligent. But I'm down for a competent white man over another Trump. Girl, what are you talking about? What is you talking about? Let me put it in her language. There can never be another Trump. He's a once-in-a-generation type of person. Why don't you just look at the policies and let that determine who you vote for? Is that a crime? Is that a crime to look at the policies and let the policies dictate who you vote for? No, I'm black. So I got to pick my president 3 years prior to them running. So if Gavin Newsom don't run and Kamala don't run, right? Who they gonna vote for? Whoever's Democrat. It could be AOC. They gonna vote for her. Even though 96% of black people do not support socialism. These people are dumb. Professors. So are you like a professor and a sorceress? Are you a witch? I think we have a witch in here, guys. She looks a little witchy. Professors. Yeah. Kamala Harris being president in 2028 should actually scare you. If you have intelligence, you would fear this woman becoming president. This lady is goofy. What was her greatest accomplishment? Locking up black people in record numbers in California. Not prosecuting the vicious police officers who killed the little Fruitvale station boy. Oscar Petty? Was that his name? Oscar Petty. But yeah, it's absolutely crazy. But this is where we are. This is where we are now in our timeline politically as black people. We are now saying we need the competent white man over, versus having another Trump. Like, come on, guys, really? Really? I think Trump is a competent white guy. I think you don't agree with Trump's policies. And we can have a discussion about that, right? We can have a discussion about that. But to sit up and be like, oh, I'm just going to vote for whoever's a Democrat, no matter what they do, no matter how bad their policies may be, because I don't like Trump. Trump is about to be dead in 2 years. The fact that any black person is still making any decision based on Donald Trump is crazy to me. It's insane to me. Especially voting for people who are telling you, yes, we need to let 40 million illegal immigrants into the country. Knowing that Obama told you that these people coming into the country illegally disproportionately impacts black people.
The game over again.
I think the whole Democratic Party needs to step their game up. I mean, what he's doing in office right now, nobody's doing nothing. It's ridiculous. They need me in there.
So he's not supporting Kamala. So at this point, we have 3 people saying they're not supporting Kamala Harris. He's asked 3. 3 have said no. Now the hustling starts.
Tell us which bucket you're going to vote in.
I'm going to vote in the no bucket.
You're going to vote in the no bucket? Why?
That's 4. Why don't matter. Think about it. He really thought going to, like, when you watch this video, what you quickly learn is Kamala Harris has no support. This is why she can't win a primary. Think about it, guys. She lost South Carolina. She lost South Carolina to Joe Biden. She didn't even get 1% of the support. Because what black women and ignorant black folks don't want to accept is Kamala Harris is not a very popular person politically. She's not a very popular person. And no matter how much you try to force people to accept her, she will never be popular enough to win. Kamala Harris got Biden. Remember, Biden got 80 million votes, allegedly. Kamala Harris couldn't even just keep the 80 million Biden got. She would have won if she would have just kept the people who voted for Biden. She couldn't even do that. She couldn't even do that. And y'all think she's going to win a presidency?
Only just because before she, ran for president and then also was the vice president with Joe Biden, she did a lot of stuff that was not, I don't know how to say it, I guess beneficial to the black community, really. And a lot of times I feel like us black people, when we see someone that is of our color, they kind of like gravitate towards them because they feel as if they're going to do what's best for us. Yep. And then also I care a lot about what's happening in Palestine too. And I don't like her politics when it comes to that either. What she does is she tries to benefit off of the black community too.
What do you mean by that?
Nah, stop asking follow-up questions, you loser. This little baby right here, she knows how she feels. She knows how she feels about Kamala. In my opinion, she has good reasons not to vote for Kamala ever. She's the most knowledgeable person you've interviewed so far. And I know it ain't gonna get much more intelligent. Trust me, not in South Carolina. And he's gonna try to walk her off her square. That's what I don't like. But she gave legitimate reasons why most black people are not about to support Kamala Harris in a second run. She's not a strong candidate. She's not even good. Like, you're going to vote for her to get what? Nothing. You're going to vote for Kamala to get replaced by Hispanic illegal immigrants. But these fools, yeah, do it.
As in, like, a lot of times, like, before like all this presidential stuff, I didn't really recall her acknowledging that she was kinfolk, if that makes sense.
That makes sense to me.
So, and now, because it's beneficial for her and she needs our votes, she's like, I'm black and I'm proud all of a sudden.
But you're saying looking forward, that's not where you want to go next.
Oh.
The question is, should she run again?
You know what? Yeah. I mean,
all right. So it seems like as if you had some problems last time, but you're not opposed to her running again.
If she does a lot of things and she changes certain things and she comes and hit all these pointers, especially after like dealing with Trump's presidency, I feel like we're not gonna have that many candidates that's willing to do half the things that she's probably willing to do, especially in this upcoming election, because we see what's going on. I feel like J.D. Vance is probably gonna try to run for president, that's a heck no. So like,
so you're saying if that's your two options, then you're kind of leaning more towards
I'll
her.
lean most definitely towards
So how
her.
about you put down what the things you would want her to see differently? You mentioned Palestine.
No, why don't you just put down no, which was her initial answer? And let's be real. This lady probably not going to vote for Kamala. She probably just not going to vote at all. But y'all can go watch that video on Vox. I think the video's dumb, but this guy got clowned and then tried to like manipulate people into saying they do want to see her run again. Like, see what I'm saying? That's not journalism. That is engineering a certain narrative. That's creating a narrative. And that's all we got nowadays, it seems like, unless you watch an independent journalist like myself who are going to tell you the truth. Shout out to my brother, Mr. Ed Watt, doing a lot of heavy lifting today with the donations. I appreciate you, my brother. Thank you so much. Truth 884, my day one brother from another mother, my kinfolk. I'd rather her run so she can lose to Vance or Rubio, 100%. You got to remember, when Donald Trump is not running, you take away the polarization that comes with Donald Trump. She'll probably lose 90 million votes to 60 if she runs against somebody who is actually who's actually not so polarizing. She says right here, somebody says she needs to stop drinking. Guys, she's at a party. You want her to stop? Oh, you mean Kamala? I thought you meant this guy. Oh, Kamala's never stopping. Kamala's never going to get off the sauce. Let's be real. Kamala is never getting off the sauce. That lady, man, if that lady ain't drunk every time she get on camera, she be faded. She got the neck wrinkles like when people drink too much. But guys, look, it's been a blessing to be here with y'all. We are hitting the 2-hour mark. It's time to end this. Thank you so much. Be on the lookout, man. Always drunk. Be on the lookout for the clips that are coming from this stream. Also, I have some clips from some other streams. I finally got everything worked out with my newly assembled team, and we're trying to give you guys the best experience over here. Give me a 1 in the comments if you enjoyed this show. Give me a 2 in the comments if you didn't like it that much. It doesn't matter. It helps me improve what I do. But I must bid you adieu. Until the next time, take care of each other. Take care of yourselves. But most importantly, please take care of each other. Peace.